Are you ready for Combat Night?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Say it.
Hi, Mitchell.
Hey, what up?
She had a nice nap on her way home.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
See, one person had jumped on. I don't know, but what Old Faithful that was.
Ready.
What up, gang? I'm gonna give it a minute or so. Let a couple people join us before we kick it off.
Crazy event this weekend.
I think my footage download finished too, so I can pull up clips. Let me stage that.
I just tagged you in this as well, Ramsey.
True. Thanks for bearing with us for a second. We just getting situated. We just got off the road.
Had a very long weekend.
John Morales, you see that comment?
No, what'd he say?
He said, so who got more of that dog in him? My boy Solomon Reed or John Silva?
Oh. Hey, Reed had a pretty good bark.
Yeah, he did.
I ain't gonna lie. Reed had a pretty good bark. Great fights last night, though, man. If you missed last night, you missed out. You should go watch our stories before they all expire. It is literally
oh, here's that dude.
Just a fun event.
I had to finish up bedtime.
Hey, we know how that goes.
Yeah, it's always the little one. She don't wanna. She's the difficult one.
Bruh, same over here, man. Charlie, the same situation. I went to my car, she followed me out, jumped in my lap. She's like, I want a podcast. I'm like, baby girl, you gotta go to bed. Mom's trying to pry her away. She's like, yeah.
So what fight y'all were talking about?
Man, we ain't even started talking about him yet. So
yeah, we just now trying to get situated. I'm sharing some stuff real quick. They aren't popping up on for me to share from my own personal page, but whatever.
You tagged too many people?
I think just my phone's being used and abused.
Man, I got so much catching up to do on getting reels shared.
Yeah, same here, man. I feel like I haven't gotten anything outside of the events the last week. Think about it. We really ran 2 events in like 8 days, 7 days.
Yeah,
8 days.
Yeah, and 2 of the top cities, in my opinion, going from Orlando to Tallahassee, like both of those were good shows.
Yeah, it was back-to-back pro shows.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's always the rough ones. Amateur then a pro, or pro then an amateur is always kind of not nice. But the back-to-back pro shows, man, that is a rough one. You guys want to start at? I kind of want to wait to talk about the main event. To be honest with you, I want the however many people the most is going to be. Just start talking about the main event at that point in time. There's a lot to talk about with that main event fight, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was looking back at it because I was recording on my phone and watching it. Like watching it in the heat of the moment, I was like, okay, yeah, he's throwing back, he's throwing back. But then when you watch like the last 10, 15 seconds where he did, where the referee did stop it, like it was like Clay was, it just depends on what you're looking at from. Like I understand either way. Like,
oh, my bad. I didn't mean to put the volume on that.
I feel like this poster in general was like one of the sickest ones thus far. Like just off rip, like just the poster alone, this show is gonna be something.
Yeah, it was a pretty dope poster. I'm actually using it right now to be tagging some people. All right. Well, I already said I wanted to skip the main event. Y'all want to get started on the co-main event?
Yeah.
Miles, I'll let you dissect that one first since they're a little closer to your weight class than mine.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got some light heavyweight MMA coming your way.
What fight is that you got on there, Ramsey?
Yeah, well, that's my bad. I'm looking at 5 things. All right, our co-main event was David Brigida versus Nick McCarty.
Yeah, this one right here to me was like fight of the night. Like, and I definitely would have to go back and watch it, a few more times to really, to see, because I feel like even though it was a tough battle back and forth, and maybe it's my Orlando bias, I think I would have to, because I don't like draws, I would give the edge to Nick McCarty. But that's nothing to take away from David Brigida. But I feel like the fact that Nick McCarty, he almost, and that's why we always say, don't leave it to the judges. Like, I feel like he was like maybe like 10, 15 more seconds away from finishing David. Like, it was just came down, in my opinion, like how some judges scored that first round. And I think one judge, I have to look back at it, but I think one judge scored it for David Brigida. And then the other 2 judges are the ones who scored it as a draw. But that just depends on that particular judge's, background. With, every judge favors something. So maybe they just favored more so the aggression and the takedown, initiation. But it's not like he took down Nick and like kept him there for a long period of time doing a whole bunch of damage. So I definitely be go back and watch that.
I don't disagree with you. It's no surprise. I train over at Fusion Excel with Nick McCarty as well. I think Nick has a lot of growing to do. So I think, David, first of all, great game plan. David had a great game plan for Nick, the way he came out, the level changes, the feints, the high, the low, the overhands. First round, I thought he did a good job mixing it up. Nick did a good job at, moving and sticking and moving and stuff. I think the judges there was some really funky scoring on that fight. But 2 of the judges gave Nick a 10-8 round, Nick McCarty. And I think that is a big reason why it was a draw. I know one judge gave the first round a draw in the first round. And other guys, the other 2 gave the first 2 rounds to Brigida, the last round to Nick. It was a really weird fight, in my opinion. I thought the draw was the right call, even though that's what no one wants to see. I personally thought the draw was the right call. So, it's better than a loss for both guys, but it also sucks because nobody wants to see a draw in the fight. But I think if Nick, I also think that if Nick had kept his stance a little bit lower throughout the whole fight, I think he probably would have ended up winning that fight, because there were a few times where Brigida would rush him and he would stand tall, and then Brigida would go right in and go in for the takedown. I was watching that fight very closely. I feel like both these guys can make it one day, and both these guys are really talented. But yeah, I thought that call end of the night, the right call was it was a draw, based off the way that the fight went, 3 rounds. I would love for them to do a sudden death round. Like, why can't we have a sudden death round to avoid draws?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right, Combat does it.
So 2 judges gave David the first 2 rounds, but then those same 2 judges gave 10-8 to Nick McCarty in the 3rd round.
Yes.
So that's how it also. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was wondering how they. Okay.
Yeah, I thought Brigida won the first 2 rounds, and then I think Angel was calling the commentary with us during that fight, and he hit the nail on the head with his assessment of how it looked like it got scored. It was Mitchell. Is Mitchell talking to us?
I think he's on Instagram Live. He's muted.
I was like, can I hear that? And then Nick, actually, I mean, as we see in this 3rd round, he just had that engine and kept going. And Brigida just faded a bit there in that second, or excuse me, in that 3rd round. And Nick just still had that go and almost got the finish in the 3rd round. So
yeah, I think it was the
fear. He fought his ass off for that draw.
Yeah, it was just the fear. The sure, just you can see a little bit of the sort of the exhaustion, the fatigue set in with David. So a lot of his takedowns, like in the first 2 rounds, he saw it, he was engaged in it, he pressured up against the cage. Sometimes he got him down, but in that third round, I think Nick McCarty, everybody in that in that venue knew what the game plan was for David. So Nick could sort of like see those initiation of takedowns come in, so he could see him shooting from a mile away, and he was able to reset his hips and be able to sprawl to counter that. And then that's why you saw here how Nick was able, once he saw those takedowns even more throughout the 3rd round, then he was able to stuff the takedowns and then utilize his striking, especially like some of those knees. He landed that knee maybe 2 or 3 times. He caught David, sort of like rushing in. As he was getting frustrated and more exhausted, he didn't really set up the takedowns as much as he did in the 1st and the 2nd round. So Nick just saw that and just capitalized on that. Yeah, I thought he was going to stop him a couple times.
Yeah, he really started anticipating those shots and preemptively starting to throw that knee, and it started to land and take its toll. And right here as we're watching, we're halfway through the 3rd round, and this is pretty much how the whole round went. In that 3rd.
I think definitely both of these fighters are going to go back and be, okay, this is what I need to clean up. This is what I need to do better. I don't want to say I want to see a rematch right away, but definitely say, for instance, 2-3 years, when it's something else on the line, I definitely like to see once both of these fighters improve even more, and then see them fight again.
Yeah, sorry, guys, I muted it. I have the live up on Instagram. I'm just telling them to come over to our YouTube and watch it. I'm going to keep it live for a little bit, but that way we can get those guys that want to know about it, come over to our YouTube channel.
All right. The fight before that was a featherweight bout, Hunter Chambers and David Macias. Holy smokes. That
crazy fight.
That fight started crazy.
That was a comeback fight of the night for Pantero.
Yeah. Crazy moment, man. I was telling the guys, is it time yet to start dropping Macias in the warm-ups? I feel like he comes alive in the fights once he gets a little rattled. Every fight he's had with us, there's a moment where he gets caught, and it's usually him kind of almost inviting it, right here. He invites it. He's standing in front of him, right? Oh, this is I think that's after the drop.
Yeah.
It's all after the drop.
30 seconds, I think.
Yeah. But
and that forced him to, turn into a grappler.
Too far.
Yeah, but even he himself said it afterwards. He was like, man, I don't know what it is. It just takes me a little bit in there to wake up, and then I get things going. But as he's starting to, increase, now he's 4-0 increase with better caliber of fighters, and then the level of fights that he's going to go up against. You don't got, 30 seconds to a minute to, feel it out. Because some of these guys that you're going to be facing eventually one day, whether it's Contender Series or in PFL, UFC, and stuff like that, man, these guys are just as hungry as you. These guys are just as polished and sharpened as you. So when they hit you, they may not give you a chance to recover. So let's see right here in the first He's keeping that. See right there, it was that lead left hook there for Hunter Chambers. And once he gets going, man, he just like a shark smells blood in the water. And even right there again,
Hit him with a flying knee.
Macias, he loves doing that. I'm sure it looks, cool when he's at the beach as he's flowing his hair in the water, right? But Vatican, man, all that down here like that, man. I was like, and then just watch it on the side as a fan and also as a commentator. When you're doing all this, that's a guy like Hunter Chambers is going to capitalize off it and hit him with that knee, and he's lucky, it didn't knock him out there.
I see Romelo's in the chat. He said, "Yo, I'm at work, but I'm not working."
I'm at work, but I'm not working. I love it. Yo, if you don't like Romelo, I don't know if I can trust you.
Yeah, I like all of his, and I like how Romelo on his Instagram, he always he puts the first picture green. It makes you swipe. He makes you engage in it. I got to swipe just to see, all right, what kind of content does he have behind here?
Yeah. Yeah, man, this Macias fight. Talk about figuring it out in the fire too, man. Like, he got rocked and was doing all the head movement, ended up in a good position. This is something guys aren't doing enough, which is being mean. Throwing these knees and right off the break, making sure he knows he's in a fight. And then Hunter too, man. Hunter's a dog. It seems like the grappling is usually what gets the better of Hunter in these fights. But when it comes to throwing down and striking and fighting, bro, he is game for it. And I mean, has he been dropped with us?
I'd have to go back and look at his record. I know he's like he wins one, loses one, win one, lose one. I know he's up and down with it.
Yeah.
And this was a rematch.
Yeah, they fought it.
But Hunter came out slugging, and to Macias's credit, he weathered it well. Considering he got into a couple of little bad spots. Even whenever the eventual finish comes, he was in a bad spot that he turned into a good spot real quick.
Yeah, that was actually really crazy to see the armbar. I was right there. It was happening right in front of me, right in front of the cage panel I was at, and I was shocked, to be honest with you. I thought he's going for his armbar, but it's almost like he should worry about the position.
I was sitting right next to Vince McGinnis and those guys over there at Kaizen, and they were saying, "Hey, watch the armbar, watch the armbar. Hey, throw him out of hey, stack them," and then boom, he sunk it in. So it's like, I know it's a lot going on there on the cage, but man, they're your coaches for a reason. So they can see things in there before you can see them. And I'm not saying like Hunter, was just ignoring, his coach, like, man, forget or whatever. But it's like sometimes when you're in there, you're just like, so just locked in what's happening in the moment. Sometimes you just have to take a deep breath. All right, hear my coach. What is he saying? Okay, take a deep breath and just listen, because they can see from the outside. They can see everything that's going on. It's kind of like a football coach up in the skybox. They're up there.
Yeah, they did a really good job at giving him great advice on what to do in the moment. I was listening as well, telling him to stay tight.
This is where he gets high.
Yeah. I thought for sure, why is he going for this armbar? I was like, oh, this is not going to work.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to slip out of it.
But, man, credit to Macias as well. Great jiu-jitsu. Not easy. That transition right there, that was beautiful.
Yeah, and actually, I misspoke. He actually initiated that takedown, controlled it, got some ground and pound in, and it just looked like he was going to slide off the top, but he just set that up nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it was right in front of me, and as he's doing it, I'm like, oh, don't do that. No, like he's about to get pummeled. I thought Hunter was gonna just pummel him, and then as he's doing it, I was like, oh, he's actually keeping really tight here. Is he gonna get this arm? And they were giving the right advice, so I thought Hunter needs to compress him, and he's gonna pound him here. And man, just great job. Very impressed. I was very impressed with that performance. Hunter, like I said, Hunter's a tough fight. Macias has not taken any easy fights with us. He's 3-0 now. speaks volumes to him and, you know, his ability to go to the next level, because you think about it, he debuted with us against Romelo. Then he fought Zellner, who's a dog and has, you know, not an easy guy to finish. And then also Hunter Chambers, also not an easy guy to finish, gets the finish. So, yeah, real impressed.
And then the fight before that was Idris Wasi and Colin Luberts. Idris has a ton of fights, and Colin came in 6-4. It's a high level fight between these guys, and Colin Luberts put in work.
Yeah, he just came out looking for blood in the beginning, but I tell you, when he got to the ground, he just kind of let it happen, you know. I think it was second round finish, right? Head and arm, second round triangle. Yeah. But I said on the feet, Idris was throwing with bad intentions. I really enjoyed this fight. It was cool to have Idris for this. I've known him for a long time. He's a veteran, bunch of fights, and Colin obviously came up with this as an amateur. It was cool to have him back inside of the Combatagon doing work. What was the fight after this?
Fight after that was Tristan McGraw and Dallas Gibson.
Okay. I know this one takes a while to get to the submission. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip to it.
But it was cool, you know. I felt like old times with Colin. He came up with Seth and Coslow and Trey, and those guys used to all corner each other coming up. Colin was one of the I say like the little teenage dweebs that would come out and help build the cage way back in the day. You know, we're talking 10, 12 years ago. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to fight in the cage one day. I'm going to fight in this cage one day. You just watch. And like, it's so funny because I get told this all the time. Like, and I'd say out of the 100 people who say it, half
here it is.
So basically he was Tim and Brian before there was Tim and Brian.
Yes. Very dope. Very dope to have him back.
Yeah, and like I said, Tristan McGraw versus Dallas Gibson was before that. And I saw him after the event, told him it was a super entertaining fight. Tristan McGraw always comes to throw down. He's fought a murderer's row of guys as he's come up with us over the years. And Dallas Gibson really showed, a versatile skill set and a lot of toughness.
Yeah, that was another battle back and forth by two game opponents.
If I'm being honest, that's probably my fight of the night. It was a great fight. I really enjoyed watching it. I could watch a fight like that. I mean, there's no limit to how many times I could watch a fight like that. That fight was just great from start to finish. And I really, really, really hate. I hate at the same time though, because you want to see both those guys be successful. You know, when the guys are putting it all on the line like they were, it's like, man, you want both guys to win. You know it can't happen, but it's just it's rough whenever you see the guys. You know they're leaving it all in there. You know they're giving it their all. And Gibbs, Dallas, man, he looked sharp on his feet, man. His takedown defense was really good too. He fought at 45 previously. I think he found his home with us now at 135. I think he fought at 140, and he plans on making the cut to 35 for the next one. So I think he's finally found his home.
Yeah, I think 135 would be, especially like 250 pounders. I think 135 should be nothing for him.
I need to get you one of those little holders.
Adjust it, base.
Yeah, Dallas is in the chat.
Shirt in there.
Dallas is in the chat. He said, dude was a dog. He would not go down. It's like, yeah, man, there ain't no quit in Tristan McGraw. And so credit to you, Dallas Gibson, because you brought it to him. Prior to that, there was Jacob Toledo and Katada Nubani. And I know that fight had some like weight cut issues. But Jacob Toledo, he wanted to fight. I remember just hearing him at the weigh-ins. He was like, I ain't come up here for nothing. I'm fighting.
Yeah, I love that attitude. Also trying to make his opponent suffer a little more. His opponent missed by 5 pounds. It's like, it's funny to me, you know, he had a moment, I guess he went to one of the social media guys and was like, yo, did you post that reel? Because he missed weight by like 5 pounds, and the guys made a reel out of it. And they were like, I mean, we did, yeah. And like, I guess he wasn't happy about it, but it's like, man, if you can't, number one, like, we're just posting what happens. That's it. Like, it, you know what I mean? Like, you could have avoided it. You could have made weight. But also it's like, if you can't handle the criticism at the regional level of missing weight, or having a bad decision as a ref, or having a bad moment myself as a promoter, or, you know, you list it goes on, Miles, ring announcing, messing up a name or whatever. If you can't handle what you to get back for that, for like you making a mistake, UFC, oh my gosh. I mean, you see what happens when someone misses weight in the UFC. It is rough. It is rough. So, but yeah, it was a great fight. I mean, an amazing fight. Toledo has a gas tank for days, and Kutada has had some issues in the past with his gas tank. But man, neither one of these guys looked like there was any gas tank issues. It was a great back and forth war. Both had their moments, and yeah, I was impressed. I'm really excited the level of flyweights we have coming in right now. We have a lot of high level flyweights fighting with us.
Prior to that was the featherweight bout between the Badman and Romelo Union. Now they had so much build up into their fight between what was going on the web, and then they had a super spicy face off, and you know, Bashir was getting really crunk with him, and I liked the composure of Romelo at the weigh-ins. He was just like, man, we'll talk tomorrow. We'll talk tomorrow. And he did his talking on Saturday.
Nasty slam. You know, I didn't even get to see the slam. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I heard it.
Yeah, he looked like a little miniature DC with that slam.
I can't wait to watch it. I just heard it. I was like running to do stuff, and my back was turned, and I heard, oh, like people started screaming, and like, as I turned around, you hear the slam, and I was like,
Let me see if I can get it.
who caused me to miss that? But yeah, you know, Romelo felt that he had the advantage in the wrestling and the grappling, and that was kind of the question, right? Like, because we know that Bashir has heavy hands. Not saying that Romelo doesn't, but Romelo chose the smart route. He thought grappling was where he could win. Grappling is what he did, and that is how he won. Very smart, intelligent fight from Romelo. A lot of times these fights with these guys are yapping back and forth with a lot of emotion involved. They'll fight with their emotions, and they'll go out there and want to get a knockout, and that's just not, you know, if you're trying to make it to the highest levels, and you need to learn how to keep your emotions in check. And actually, after the fight, it was pretty cool. I saw a moment where Romelo was telling Bashir, like, you gotta keep your emotions in check, man. You gotta don't fight with your emotions, you know, don't let them run you. So it was a cool moment I saw in the locker room after.
This is it. And you know, from the weigh-ins, Romelo essentially told him what he was going to do. He's like, "What are you going to do to keep me from taking you down?"
This fight pretty much went how we thought it was, right? Like you mentioned before, Romelo with the grappling background, Bashir with the striking. So it's just a matter about was he going to be able to stop, you know, the takedowns of Romelo? And Romelo proved, no, you can't. Like, I'm going to do what I want.
There you go, Javi. He put on the full uniform now.
Are we ready to talk about apple pie after this? Is that why they're asking me about the headband?
Yeah, look at this.
Oy.
That was nasty work.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, man. David Macias said that Romelo, he couldn't believe how strong Romelo was. Macias, 55er coming down to 45. And Romelo, honestly, he's a 35er. He walks around at 45, walks around at like 150. He needs to go down to 35, I think. But for Macias to say, yo, he was the strongest, he couldn't believe how strong he was when they fought. And then seeing that clip, it's like, man, because we know Bashir is strong, and he just and then on top of that, controlled him on the ground as well. Got the underhook and just flattened him out.
All right, sorry, I'm trying to queue up the
Mouthpiece out.
Yes.
This fight was great. They were thumping. And then some interesting grappling exchanges as well in the main event. I'm a fan of both of these guys. Very different demeanors, but nice throw by there. When I saw that live, I was like, ooh, he did that too easy. He got to the back too easy. That's a lot of boy. Apple Pie had 60 pounds on him, and it was not. He was finding a hard time to actually work on Apple Pie's back because of how large Apple Pie is.
Yeah, he couldn't get. We were talking about it in the booth. He couldn't even get his, do a body lock triangle on his opponent there because. And shout out to Kevin Hine for, like you said, stepping up against somebody who has that much weight advantage on you
and experience. He has double the pro fights. And no one else wanted to fight Apple Pie, and he came up from 205. I mean, that's just that says a lot about it says a lot about who he is as a fighter, and he's the real deal. Like, he's a real deal.
I need this book. Read.
Somebody here in the chat said they either want to fight Apple Pie or Baguba.
Yeah, that's he actually messaged the Combat Night account that night.
Who's that? Who's Royal Masquerade?
That is Judd. Wild Man.
Oh, Cody Judd.
Wild Man. Asking for the 7-1 heavyweight champ.
Oh, they say Cody the Juggernaut Judd.
Yeah. So the ending of this fight was interesting. For anyone who hasn't seen it yet, we're going to get to it here after this round. I think for sure Kevin won the first round. The start of the second round, Kevin throws a kick, and Apple Pie throws a mean check hook, and Kevin throws the kick off balance, and he was already kind of slipping, so he just kind of like oh shit, and like bailed, but bailed under a
Let me
a man that had 60, 70 pounds on him.
Yeah, we just bring it back to the beginning of the second round because, yeah, and he actually doesn't he pull Apple Pie down onto him?
Yeah, then he tries to throw Apple Pie. I think ill-advised, but it was a very I'd say like stressful exchange, right? Like, he threw the kick, avoided the check hook really well. You'll see it. He shoots for a takedown underneath him, gets up, gets behind, but it's like, old habits die hard, and I think Kevin is used to being able to slam people and just didn't realize how much. I thought he dropped him there. I thought he dropped him with the hook, but he didn't.
Yeah, upon further review, he rolled that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried to split him there. Like you mentioned before, like in all of his previous fights, he's been able to do that to other individuals, but you've never fought anybody that's like has 50 pounds, on you before, or somebody with this much, fight experience.
Yeah.
Here's where Apple Pie was just being real nasty, just taking the point of his elbow and just grinding it into his jaw and his cheek.
Yep. And then he eventually gets to full mount, and that's the interesting part I would like to see. The last minute, I haven't seen it from this angle yet. I've just seen it from the cell phone footage. I get both sides. I know Kevin is very upset with the stoppage. I think he has a reason to be upset, but also
Apple Pie's face after the fight. Like, you see one guy's face is like a welt underneath his eye, and the other guy who lost, his face looks clean. So it's like, ref, really what? So like you said, I could see it from both sides.
And a welt is an understatement.
Oh yeah, and if you look, when he starts the full mount, Apple Pie's face is fine. There's no marks on it. All the damage Apple Pie took was from Kevin throwing shots from the bottom.
It's crazy. Yeah, you don't. I mean, you just don't often see as effective as striking from the bottom as Kevin Hine is able to.
Yeah, normally you see people just tap, 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 tap. But he was just
moving. He was like moving really well. I think the finish happens at the last 20 seconds of the fight too. But Apple Pie did a good job showing he has some ground game here, being smart, securing the hip, making sure he's not letting Kevin sneak out of there.
You know, something that's interesting is in lieu of like how this fight finished and then how the Duplessis Chimaev fight went, where he just like held him in a crucifix and just pip, 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 pip. You know, what did he have? 500 strikes
and 2 minutes of control time,
but no stoppage.
A piece of me feels like he did that on purpose.
Who? Oh, Chimaev.
Yeah, like y'all question my cardio. I'm gonna show y'all.
Yeah, I got this for 5 rounds,
which is scary. Can we fast forward to that last little bit of this fight?
Man, these controls on this are being a little dodgy.
Well, this is the part I want to watch anyways. Apple Pie does a good job at not getting too high, because that's kind of a bad thing too. When you're such a big dude fighting a smaller guy, it's easy for them to slip out. But he did a good job of staying on top, peppering him with some shots. Kevin did a good job of keeping his hands up though. You can see these shots are like 50-50. When we switch to the towards the end of the fight, and here goes Kevin. He knocks his mouthpiece out right there. Y'all see it? I mean, Kevin's landing some big shots. Oh,
I think they're
that was the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin's landing some big shots.
Yeah, and the referee is closely watching, but for somebody on bottom, when you have a 270 pounds.
Oh, there went the mouthpiece right there.
Right hand.
Bro, again, look, he is hitting Apple Pie with some shit here. But I mean, my whole martial arts career, it's not intelligent to strike from the bottom. I've never had a coach say, hey, you should strike from the bottom. So it's like, as a referee, does he see that as intelligently defending himself? Man, he's landing some shots and he's moving. They're both kind of landing here.
I know he looked right before he stops it. He lands a big shot.
Yeah, right after he says you got to fight back, and he fucking bam. That's right here. Right, this shot. No, it's like, wait, and then he stops it.
There it was.
Yeah. I think the last 10-15 second exchange there, Kevin Hine didn't throw as many because he was mounted for like a good, that exchange back for a good like 2 minutes, like 90 seconds. But I think that last like 10-15 seconds, where it was like, all right, you're not landing as much strikes from the bottom as you were before.
And where Bags made the mistake there, honestly, was engaging with a fighter and talking with a fighter. He made a decision. Should have just let, you know what I mean? Like, I get it though. Emotions run high, and Kevin's a big boy in his face, screaming about it, mad. We can't help but our human nature to want to respond to somebody. And he wasn't wrong either. Like, intelligently defending would have been shrimping out and getting away and pushing him off. But that's the answer 99.9% of the time. But there's that 0.1%. And I think Kevin fell in that 0.1%, where he was landing the shots and, was doing the right thing there, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, when it comes to referees, what's this? I forgot this guy's name again, this ref.
David Baggs. He's a great referee.
Yeah, David Baggs is what you call no nonsense. You want to complain? That was a David Baggs answer. Your ass should have shrimp, because let it have been, maybe Isaiah Cabal, who I love as well. Isaiah, we were like, man, next time, do better and stuff like that. That would have been Isaiah Cabal answer. Like, well, nah, David Baggs, he was like, hey, your ass should have shrimp. You know how to shrimp, don't you? Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. And maybe too, like, you know, for me, it's like, it's hard to criticize the guys that are reffing the fights because, in my opinion, they got the hardest job in there, and everyone has an opinion about what they're doing, and they have to make a decision in the moment like this. So it's hard for me to criticize him too much, but you know, he said fight back. Maybe improve your position, and then he doesn't improve his position, and you can stop it then. But like if you say fight back, and the dude clubs him, or and then you stop it, it's like, oh, he listened to what you said to do.
Yeah.
You said fight back. So I wonder if people would feel differently if he had said, Blue, you have to improve your position, you know,
Yes.
and that was the command.
Yeah, some referees say you got to move. Some referees say improve your position. Some say fight back. Like, so it just depends on what they choose to say in that moment.
Yeah.
Well, how many fights have we seen where we see a guy in an advantageous position like Apple Pie had, and we just like, yo, just keep throwing strikes, and the ref's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to stop it. And essentially, that's what he did.
Yeah, but there was a moment earlier where he was a barrage, and he threw a lot more than, you know, that he did there. And it's like, I think people would have a hard time saying anything about that moment when it's, you know, it's 15, 20 shots in a row versus the 3 or 4. I yelled fight back, and he punched him like right before. So it's like, again, though, I see both sides. Hard decision to make in the moment.
Luis Perez said salam alaikum to the guy in yellow. And Brian said it's just not smart to strike from the bottom. And this is kind of it's like, that's a fact, but it's just one of these outlier situations where it's like he was actually doing it with some success and still, you know, got the you know, the bad result or the penalty for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, to be realistic, we all know, you know, jiu-jitsu, they say it doesn't require, you know, strength and muscle. It's all about technique and stuff like that. I don't care. Show me somebody who could get Clay Apple Pie Jackson off of him. That is a big dude. And he cut to make, you know, 265. Cut weight to make 265. And Kevin Hine walks around 225. So you got somebody with 50 plus pounds, you know, on top of you in a mounted position. I know, I need to get my elbows in and shrink or reclaim my guard. That shit ain't working. So what did Kevin Hine do, man? Forget trying to waste some energy on that, and I'm gonna just punch. Like,
yeah, he did the next best thing that he could do. If it's like, okay, I'm not just gonna bench press Apple Pie off of me,
because it's not gonna work.
Right.
100%. He did what he could do.
Like the fact that he messed up his eye, the big swelling, the fact that he knocked out his mouthpiece. I mean, he fought back. That was the intelligent way to defend yourself when you have somebody 50 pounds plus on top of you.
Smack him.
Yeah. I mean, again, I hate it. I want to see a definitive, you know, win or finish. And there was a lot, like I said, there's a lot of moments like this. The Apple Pie fight, the Nick McCarty fight, where there was a draw on the amateur side too. You know, there was these moments, and it's like, man, we got to find a way to, I don't know, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, for extra 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, something. Give them a do or die minute.
You know, maybe enclose the cage, make the cage even smaller. Like, hey, you cannot leave the Combat Night logo. You got to stay on this Combat Night logo for the next, you know, 3 minutes.
Tie their off hand together like the arm wrestling. Good night.
Or do a Combat Night power slap. All right, you get one punch on me, I get one punch on you. Now I go first.
All right, who else?
All right. So the pro card kicked off with Manny Saunier and Taylor Pafard. Manny Saunier picking up the win via TKO in round 1.
That was a cool fight, man. I actually reffed Manny's last amateur fight, and you know, I do my best. Like anytime I'm an official, I do everything in the sport. It was for another event. They needed a referee, so I was like, yeah, I'll help you out. Do a couple referee matches, and I was happy to see him get back to you know, his winning ways. And also, I think the last fight probably taught him something, because he did hit the guy in the back of the head a few times and ended up losing due to illegal strikes. after he dropped the guy, but then he followed up without any like technique or control. And with Taylor Buford, he dropped him and was very calculated about the way he came. This is a dope to see.
Sorry, these controls are being not kind to me.
Yeah, blame the controls.
Man, just looking at myself there on the screen, man, those jerseys came out dope. Shout out to Angel, shout out to Retro. These jerseys last night looked dope. I just want to say that.
Yeah, because Mitchell Chamale had no part in designing the Tallahassee jersey, the town that he lived in for 8 years. Yeah, shout out Angel, shout out Retro.
No, I didn't know you did. I thought it was
Cool.
Mitchell needs to pedal off all them flowers.
Yeah, bro.
shout out to Caden's dad too.
Mitchell paid for him.
There you go.
Nah, Retro splits him with me.
Oh, okay.
But I still get some love, Miles. I don't get enough of that.
All right, well, since you're the one that designs them, can we get football jerseys for Fort Lauderdale?
I think the new age football jerseys work.
Like football jerseys, since we're going to do pro shows down in Fort Lauderdale now, Miami Dolphins style jerseys.
But we already did Florida Marlins.
Oh, yeah. But that's baseball.
Has Taylor Buford thrown a single punch in this fight? Or is it just kicks?
Well, you threw one.
I don't know if that was a punch as much as it was like, oh, shit. There's a punch. Okay.
Yeah, he's swinging. But his hands are low.
Yeah, he was carrying his hands at his hips the whole time.
Especially the amount of overhands and just straight crosses that Manny Sunday threw. You would think that Taylor would keep his hands just a little bit higher.
Oh, nice right hook. Manny switched his stance quite a bit.
Oh, so Buffard was throwing a calf kick that was having an effect on Manny.
Yeah, I just saw the very end sequence of this. The night of.
Yeah. I want to say it was nasty. He hit him with like maybe 10 of them. But this was nastier.
Yeah. Great even matchup, too, between those two guys, man. It was a really good matchmaking. Richard put that fight together. 2 debuts. Both a little bit older, similar amateur records. It was a good fight.
And then the amateur undercard main event was Jamel Davis and LeVar Mitchell. That turned into it went to a decision. Jamel Davis won via decision, and that was a pretty grappling heavy matchup between those guys.
Yes, a very, very good fight as well. I like the back and forth in it. LeVar, after the fight, said he felt like he learned a lot. So did his opponent. So, you know, that's kind of the goal of the amateur fights, is to have both guys learning a lot and, figuring it out. So when they do go pro, they've seen all the fights. Everything's happened. And I think for Chamale, that was a different style of fight that he's usually used to striking. But great fight. What was what ended up being the co-main for the amateur? Was that Akerson?
Yeah, it was Trey Bates and Corey Akerson.
Talk about a game of inches.
Yeah, they were trading. Trey Bates came in with a slightly unorthodox style in terms of like what we're accustomed to seeing from like MMA style fighting, real like kind of karate, hands low, leaning back on the leg, wanting to like pump kicks, but hands way down. And he was getting his licks in. They were definitely exchanging throughout that fight. And then, the one that stopped the show was he leaned back and Corey hit him right on the button.
A very nice hook. And it was the most tippiest tip of the chin, but it caused that chin just to turn sideways for a second. And he collapsed. I don't think anyone saw it coming because it looked very, it was very, very close. It was like you said, a game of inches, and the reel that we made, game of inches, was a great fight.
And before that, we had Darius Murchison and Finley Gibson. Darius took the win via unanimous decision. And before that, Antoine McCollum and Solomon Reed at heavyweight MMA. Man.
Man.
Let's see if I can find that.
McCollum looked so good. Let me say that. His first time back after his last fight, he lost with us and he took some time off. And really, it looked like he reinvented himself, man. His physique looked so good. It looked like he really got mass. Looked like a true heavyweight. Solomon did too, though. Solomon looked like a tank in there. And man, he overextended on the right hand, got really off balance, and couldn't really find his feet underneath him. Turned around to Solomon, just making him pay for the mistake, which a lot of guys don't do nowadays. You see a lot of guys who are too calculated and reserved, and I'll wait till the next mistake. And it was instinct for Solomon. As soon as that mistake was made, he turned into a dog and went after him, literally.
Yeah, quite literally. Before that was the light heavyweight bout between Lindell Hampton and Eric Adair. Eric Adair. Yeah, what a great fight.
Another fight of the night.
Uncle Eric's in the chat. Shout out to all the fighters, the over the 30-plus crew, over 35-plus crew, because now a lot of these guys now we see here are like hitting 30, hitting 31, so now I got to bump it up on a 35 and up.
Yeah, how about Eric Adair picking up the scalp of that Lindell Hampton that was undefeated?
Man, I got a lot of love for the way Eric fought, because so many guys get put in bad positions and they choose to do this. God ain't gonna save you. Who you praying to? What are you doing? We're in a fight. You better fight. You better figure it out. And I thought the ref was about to stop the fight. He got overwhelmed with some shots, kind of ended in a weird position and like in a turtle position. And Lindell was over him, throwing hammers at him. And he reached back, double.
He reached back, was in whoop.
Flipped the script, gets on top, gets a TKO. There was a little bit of banter about like, he was hitting the back of the head, and like you hear some of the fans saying it. So when there's these moments in the night before, I like to go back and watch these moments to see, like, because we don't have the view that the refs have. Like, we don't. Like, the refs have the best view in the house. So, you know, the back of the head can be the difference of this much. Like, all they got to do is hit the ear. It's really not, for fans, it's really not like just behind the back of the head. If you're touching the ear, you're good. It's really the mohawk rule. It's a 2-inch mohawk from here all the way back, protecting your spine. So if they hit the ear, and a big boy like Eric's got big hands, and they hit the ear and the other fingers might hit close to the back, it's legal. And a few did get through on Lindell, but not. I mean, they weren't the reason it was stopped. And another thing I always tell these guys is, like, defense is not turning your head and playing the game of like, if I turn my head and I think he's throwing a fist from that side, I'm not going to get hit. No, defense is shrimping. Defense is jujitsu. I'm going to be doing that a lot. But defense is doing something technical to get out of a position. It's not just trying to get your opponent to commit a foul. You know, I'll be in the gym sometimes and I'll put a rear naked choke on somebody and they tuck their chin in. I ain't the one. I'm a wrench on your chin. And you can complain about it being a crank, or you're just squeezing my jaw. Well, you're the idiot that put your jaw there. I didn't do that. I'm teaching you a lesson, because in a fight, Miles, you gonna wrench on the jaw in a fight?
I'm cranking that bitch. I don't care what you call it. A tap is a tap.
Yep. So if I'm a good teammate, I'm wrenching your jaw and I'm making you do something. So, but the whole point of that is, like, do something. Like, don't just try to make your opponent commit a foul. Do something smart. Start to get up, shrimp, get away. I mean, what Eric Adair did, double from behind, ankle picks, stand up. We're fighting. So hats off to Unc for figuring it out in the fire, in the heat of the moment. And what's going to make a great reel. That's going to be a hilarious reel. I cannot wait to see what the guys come up with. It was great.
Well, you have to include. We were losing it at the end of the second round. The fucking chimp hammer fist. He brought back a variation of the Saman smash. He double back hammer fisted him on his head, and we were just like, it was some Planet of the Apes shit. He said they never warned him once.
Well, I mean, I didn't really listen, but I know in the heat of the moment, he's probably already went back and watched it though, and he knows they didn't warn him. But they are pretty vocal when they start seeing it even getting close to be like, hey, watch the back of the head. But in a fight, you know, shit's happening so fast, you're not really even thinking. You're just thinking about fighting.
Before that, we had a bunch of kickboxing bouts. Duvan Bezuidenhout versus Josh Schaefer. That was the body shot knockout from Joshua Schaefer on Bezuidenhout. And that was, I think, knee to the liver. And
Schaefer was not happy about his performance either. He seemed like he expected more of himself, which I love to see. I love that fire of like, yo, I want to get finishes quicker. Or I think I should have finished him quicker. I love that. Yeah, it's smart.
He's the one that says he has his sights on making it to one championship as a kickboxer. So he's setting the bar high for himself. And
maybe setting an impossible bar. I don't know if one championship will be around that long, my boy. Not to be the bearer of bad news. You know what their looks are looking like. Karate Combat might be a better site to set your eyes on, maybe.
Or we could just start doing some pro kickboxing.
I would love to. I got to figure that out with the state.
Because I feel like I've seen maybe like one or two. I think that was before I started doing ring announcing. I think I came to a fight where there was like professional kickboxing.
We've done a couple. Now, Callaway.
Kai Callaway.
Wesley Golden. And Orlando.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm talking about then. Yeah.
You were the ring announcer for that.
I was?
Yeah.
Was that in 2024?
That was last year.
25. Wow.
Yeah. At the Kissimmee.
Yeah, that was 2024.
Yeah, March 23rd.
Before that, Brenton Vona versus Anil Jockley. Brenton Vona picked up the knockout win in that middleweight kickboxing bout.
Honestly, I get no joy out of watching somebody get knocked out the way he got knocked out in amateurs. Like, I get it. I know what we're doing. I know what I'm promoting, and I get what my job is. But, like, man, he hit him with some shit. He hit him. That was a crazy knockout. Crazy. Like,
because he was one. Like, to me, after that, like, and I guess it's going back and look at it, or, you know, like you said, the judges, the referees have a hard time. But the first standing 8 count, Jacques was done.
Yeah. Prior to that, there was a heavyweight kickboxing bout, Greg Ramsey and Andre Talley. That went to a draw. Is that that was the enormous Greg Ramsey, 6'7". And you know, so as we were watching the fight, man, Andre Talley, he was the obviously they were similar in size. He was the larger man though, but he had great movement, was sticking and moving, and Greg Ramsey was kind of like slugging, you know, what I call it, lumbering around the cage. But whenever he landed shots, it was like they were going kaboom. But Dre Train, I thought he was really impressive with his movement and stuff. And he said he had just lost 100 pounds to get down to that weight. And, you know, I think he said in the last year. So he keeps losing weight. He got some good speed on him.
Yeah, his technique looked good. He looked very movement was very well. I couldn't imagine. We don't deal with it really at flyweight or any other weight class like they do at heavyweight, where a guy can have, you know, what? How much did he have? 7 inches?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 6 foot to 6'7".
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy advantage in the reach. And I mean, yo, that's like in the whole. That's like on the punch. It's probably 3 or 4 inches. That's a lot. Not to mention that he has to punch up to get to him. That's a lot, man. I couldn't imagine dealing with that kind of advantage.
Well, to his advantage, I guess Greg Ramsey was willing to just keep coming forward. He wasn't even utilizing any of that length. He just wanted to be big and heavy on him. I thought he handled it well, and that fight ended in a draw. Prior to that, we had a lightweight kickboxing bout, Charisma Morley versus Felix Dirty Sanchez. That went to decision. That was the young man, the 18-year-old, taking on the elder statesman at 31. And he picked up the win. That was another guy that was another train fight win guy. Train fight win.
Undefeated?
No. But they did some good work.
They had the 1 draw. They had 2 pro wins, which is 2 pro wins is a big deal.
But Anil is out.
Yeah. Sorry, Anil is with them. You're right. Speaking of, just to give a little nod here, Ancient City Muay Thai or martial arts, bro, hats off to them. They went 3-0 on the night, had some tough fights in enemy territory, and dominated. They looked really good. All their fighters looked really good. I'm really looking, and they also, I don't know what their undefeated streak is right now with us, but they have a pretty impressive undefeated streak with us. They've the last few fights they've been involved, they've been winning, 2 fights here, 1 fight here. So I'm excited. I want to see what they continue to produce out there in St. Augustine, very small town.
Yeah, Michael Yelich, who had the rear naked chokies out of that Ancient City martial arts.
And they all look like units too. They all look like units. Every one of them boys.
Prior to that fight, there was featherweight kickboxing, Axel Pimentel and Matthew Williams. Axel Pimentel picking up the win via unanimous decision. That was the doctor that he was fighting. Matthew Williams, the psychopath. He's going to UF to become a doctor. And I thought he showed a lot of toughness because there were some things that Axel Pimentel was just doing right early in that fight. And I thought Matthew Williams hung in there pretty tough, considering he seemed, just a little bit outmatched. Before that, we had a catchweight MMA bout, Devontae DeVoe versus Michael Jelicic. And that's what Miles was just talking about. Jelicic won the round 1 rear naked choke.
Oh, yeah.
That was the Ancient City martial arts guy. Before that, we had a lightweight kickboxing bout, Brendan Vargas versus Caleb Mercer. Brendan Vargas picked up the win. And you know what? My memory is not as good as yours, Mitchell, but I didn't jot down what he won by. So I'm not sure if that was a look. Go to the footage.
Which one? First fight of the night?
No, the second.
You said Vargas?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This first, I was very in and out for the very.
I think a lot of that went. A lot of the kickboxing ones early on went to decision.
Yeah, I had a crazy these last 2 events making me earn my my living. I'll tell you that much.
It was a split decision. And then the first fight of the night was Ronaldo Pacheco versus Chase Miller, and Chase Miller won via unanimous decision. That was another Ancient City martial arts guy. And that was the Pro Tallahassee card.
Amazing night of fights.
Great 2 weeks of fights.
Yep, and we're back October 11th in South Florida. I cannot wait.
So I guess what you can expect from us in the coming weeks are some podcasts. So we're going to get some fighters on to come down, have a chat with us in the studio.
For sure. I got a couple guys I cannot wait to connect with. John Morea being one of them. The next month we're gonna have some pretty cool guests in studio. Really looking forward to talking to these fighters and finding out more about them. The bigger we get, the less I know about these guys' origin stories, and the less that I literally like am training. I used to travel the whole state training with everybody, and I really knew a lot about everybody. But the more guys we get, the less I do. So it's really exciting to have some of these guys in studio and learn a lot about them.
Yeah, Theoren said he's down.
Love to get Theron in there.
Yeah, so great last couple of weeks of fights. I'm so tired right now.
Yeah, I'm exhausted too. I am gonna go drink a protein shake. I just got out of the sauna. I got a nice sauna session in. It felt amazing. And I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in and having listen to us chop it up about results from last night. It was a great event, like we said. Miles, I know you like to put a button on it.
Oh, one last thing, Nick. Mitchell, my nephew texted, he said when you had the headband and the shirt on, you got a lot of aura. I know that's real big with the kids these days. They say aura. My nephew Nick said, Mitch got a lot of aura right now. Like,
so does that mean, Nick, that I could submit you in like 10 seconds instead of 30? Yo, straight up, Miles, I gotta whoop your nephew every opportunity I get. I gotta let him know, because in like 3 or 4 years, it's bad news bears for me, man. That's a big boy. And if he sticks with it, I gotta set it in his mind now. I gotta condition his mind to know I'm the baddest little dude he knows. So even when he gets bigger and better, he still got it at the back of his mind, like, nah, but that guy is crazy.
he gets bigger and better in 3, 4, 5, 10 years. He still won't be able to beat me, but
well, I don't have his guys. Cool.
All right, guys. Well,
he said he tapped you with a rear naked choke. Mitch, is that true?
Oh yeah, he did.
Come on, bro.
I'm seeing what
yeah.
he said. In fact, I tapped Mitch to a rear naked choke. Is there any footage? If there's no footage, it doesn't count.
Hey, fun fact, nephew. You just earned yourself a reel this week. Expect to see it sometime this week, nephew. Fun facts. We'll see what the fans think about you rear naked choking me. We'll see what they think, if that's possible.
The camera's always rolling.
Yo, Ben, we're gonna have Corey and Kurt fights in October, on October 11th. You heard it here first. I want both them boys fighting. We got a bunch of names. We're starting to match the October 11th card this week. We're actually doing it this weekend. Got a lot of pro fights put together that are crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. Guys. It was great chopping it up with you fellas. I don't know what that was. I was gonna try to throw a peace sign up, and I was like, yeah. Oh, man.
No gang signs here.
Combat night.
All right, I'll holler at you boys, man.
All right, guys. Later.
Are you ready for Combat Night?
Messed up. Man,